Welcome to Dad of War. Dang it! God of War. Sorry, lame joke, I'll move on. This game hit me like a freight train, and I don't mean emotionally. Well, okay, maybe a little bit. What I mean is I don't have any stakes in the series. I played a few hours of the first one a couple of years ago, had fun, but the story didn't really interest me, and there wasn't much drive for me to keep playing. Well, now I may go back and finish it. Before I get ahead of myself, let me start off with my favorite part of the game, the story. The game kicks off with Kratos chopping down an interesting looking tree with a glowing handprint on the side. He then proceeds to lift it up, Arnold Schwarzenegger style, and brings it to his boat. Atreus, also known as Boy, follows and starts some dialogue, this all leading up to them making it back home. Kratos puts the log he just chopped onto the pile of other logs just like it. Boy makes his way into the house and walks up to the wrapped body of his deceased mother and starts a prayer. Some epic music starts, some Halo type, oh, sorry, I'll never sing again. Kratos walks in and picks up his deceased wife and brings her to the pyre. After the smelting process, he magically finds her ashes amongst the tree dust and bags it up, and tells Atreus to get his bow. They're going hunting for deer. Atreus asks where the deer are at, and Kratos goes full sass and tells him that, hint hint, they're in the same direction that deer are. Terrible dad. This sets off the adventure, and there is more to it. I don't want to give away the story too much, but it takes about an hour or so depending on your playstyle to make it to the first boss. And I'm not counting the giant orc-like thing as a boss. I'm talking about this mysterious figure that rolls up to your front door looking for a fight. And after Kratos backhands him, he gets up and laughs maniacally, acting like nothing happened, and punches back. This is, in my opinion, the first boss fight, and honestly, the greatest boss fight. And the way I look at the game, the only boss fight. Now this isn't a bad thing. Spoiler alert, he's a god and doesn't feel pain. In fact, he can't die, so it's safe to say after you beat him, you'll meet again. So as the game progresses, you fight him multiple times, and each time they get more and more epic, adding different elements to the fight. That's about all I want to say about the story. Seriously, if that's all you need to know for your decision, I'll make it easy. Get this game and beat it. Seriously, buy it, rent it, or whatever. Graphics. Oh man, these graphics. I played this on a base model PS4, so no S, no Pro, and even still, this game looks beautiful. The texture work, shaders, lighting, particle effects, coloring. This game beats any other game out there right now, in my opinion. And I can only imagine if I got to play it in 4K, how much better it would be.
It was her wish.
There are multiple areas in the game, and each one shows off its beautiful art style in every possible way. This has me relieved, as I was seriously considering the PS4 Pro for the arrival of Spider-Man. The sound, voice acting, and music is also top-notch, with meaty, bassy sound effects as you fuse your Leviathan axe to your enemy's skin, whether you throw it or swing it. The music is very atmospheric, and aside from battles, it only aims to enhance the experience instead of adding another on top of the main dish. The voice actors for every character involved are fantastic. Funny, lighthearted moments between Atreus and the other characters in the game make for great moments. Obviously, he has moments with Kratos. Speaking of which, Christopher Judge really makes Kratos' game length, character progression, even more believable and powerful than I could ever expect from a God of War game. Gameplay. Yes, this is probably the most drastic change compared to the previous games. It's now an over-the-shoulder, third-person action combat game. And the Leviathan axe, oh my gosh, the Leviathan axe. If they ever make a Thor game for an MCU tie-in, the combat needs to be modeled and improved upon starting with this. The satisfaction I get when I hurl the axe at an enemy and it sticks into them, freezing them, while I land blows fist after fist into other mobs, and then on my last hit, on the second to last enemy, I call my axe back, unfreezing the mob whose chest it was lodged in. It deals the landing blow on the current target, and I swing it again to finish the last guy off. Or I can just swing it through hordes. Both are just as satisfying as any other combos you can come up with. And with the big guys, watching it land in their chest and bits and blood flies out of them, run up to them and bash their legs with my shield, dazing them a bit, calling the axe out for some extra damage, and then slashing their shin up to do more damage. Atreus provides long-range combat, and while you don't control him independently, you do tell him when to fire. And this not only helps with some puzzles, but also is a main way of dealing damage to some types of enemies. Also, adding to the possible combo chain. As you play, the axe and Atreus' bow gets upgraded and levels up, with the ability to add runes for extra damage towards elemental types or speeding up recharge times on special moves. Speaking of which, Spartan Rage is the best thing ever. It's introduced early on in a story moment, and it's a great, satisfying feeling when you first use it. Honestly, there's more I could touch on, like the possibility of other weapons in the game. Wink wink. Or some stuff I missed in the beginning explanation of the start of the game. But I really don't want to give away more than what I need to tell you that this is a great game. Perfect? Probably not, but for me, it was close. And I can't think of anything I didn't like. Even the difficulty was pretty good and fair. I love the game for what it is, and I can't wait to see how the story continues. I give this game a 4.5 clangs out of 5. I can only hope Spider-Man doesn't fail me. I mean, even this game has an Infinity Gauntlet.